Ayy, sitting like a boss, bring the workers out. Press on the exhaust, we be skirting now. No, we not the same, what you talking about? Got me all up in your mentions, must have heard around. How that sound, yeah, that sound good. Break it down, ice the Wendy's in your town. Don't forget the dollar sign. How that sound, yeah, that sound good. Tell them get in line. Hold it down. Came up from the under.
What's up, guys? This is Casey from Casey's Customs, and in this video we are going to be continuing the Tugadoo build. Pretty interesting. There's a lot of other videos before this one, but in this video I'm focusing on finishing up the cabin we've made and also starting to do the fiberglass over the cabin. When this is finished, the entire jet ski will have a layer of fiberglass on it so that everything is completely waterproof. Everything's really strong that way as well. So that's what we're going to be focusing on this video, and basically finishing up this cabin so that I can kind of start figuring out where I'm going to have my windows, or portholes I guess they're called on a boat. I've been told that several times by people. So I'm going to get this all finished up so I can kind of start figuring out exactly how I want to do my windows. But let's get started. We got one coat over the entire hull and the dash and everything. As far as the fiberglass count, I'm 2.5 gallons down, and probably like, I don't know, 60, 70 feet of cloth or mat, whatever you want to call it. And that's only one coat. Probably end up having like 3 coats. So, a lot of sanding to do. So much sanding to do. I'm gonna let this bitch dry for about a day, and then I'll come in here and start shaping it up a little bit better. Fun fact about fiberglass, it's super itchy, it sucks, nobody likes it, it just itches like a motherfucker. One thing you can do is use baby powder and put it on your skin so that the fiberglass can't get in your pores and make it itchy. I don't know, that's probably bullshit. All I know is it works, so. Okay, I got the first coat sanded all down. It's actually smoothed out a lot better than I thought it would, so I'm super happy about that. But I'm gonna start on the cabin now. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some metal plates to put here, and then I can actually just weld the metal bar, the metal support, straight to the plates instead of trying to like fiberglass them, glue them, whatever. I'd rather just be able to weld them. So I'm gonna have to just tack them, obviously, since they're gonna be on there, and then take them off and fully weld them. But that's what we're gonna do right now. We're going to cut some metal for it. Okay, we got our metal pieces on. Now we can start building our cabin. Go for something like that. I wanted metal so I could actually weld this on and not just try and glue it or some bullshit. Got the start of the canopy. It's looking real good. I'm gonna get some tape now, do my tape lines, and then I can fill that in with sheet metal. It's pretty bitchin'. I hopped in there too, and I like the way I sit in it, which is nice. So the plan is cover this with sheet metal, and then I'll fiberglass it all in as well, and then figure out how I want to cut my windows out. But I want to have it all sealed up before I start doing the window. So now what we do is trace out this tape, and we'll cut it, and that'll be the template I use for my sheet metal. There we go. Now that's the template we gotta make out of sheet metal. Now that I got the main frame done and a piece of sheet metal on it, I'm gonna start giving it some depth, because right now it's only like, you know, 3/4 of an inch thick. So I'm gonna build up the sides and kind of give it some more depth when you look at it. Weld this on there and give something like that. Let's weld it in. She's getting some depth to her. I'm gonna finish welding it up and then I'll start grinding it. There we go, we got it all grinded down. It's got a little more depth to it. You can see the top is kind of that way too. This will be getting windows as well. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do that, but I'll probably do a pole. Looking like a tugboat. I'm sealing up the bare metal here with an etching primer. So we got that painted and it is officially dried. So let's mix up some Bondo. Okay, time to start doing some fiberglass. We have learned our lesson this time. I'm certainly not gonna try and mix up a gallon at a time. I'm just gonna do this in several sections. Just this side, just that side, just the top, and then I'll fill in all the little stuff I gotta do. All right, this first coat is finally dried. I'm gonna sand it down and then I'm gonna do another coat. I'm gonna reinforce this real good and then right there as well. That's the plan. Got the cabin all covered. Let this shit dry a day or two and then we'll sand the shit out of it and probably start doing some body work. I know this up here is like, in some spots it's like an inch thick. So I'll probably need one more coat over everything. But other than that, I think the fiberglass work is damn near done. All right, this first coat, well, second coat, whatever coat this is, I don't know, is finally dried. I'm gonna sand it down and then I'm gonna do another coat. I got a couple spots that I really wanna reinforce so that this is super strong. I mean, it's already really strong, but just wanna make sure I don't get any cracking. So I'm gonna reinforce this real good and then right there as well. So that's the plan. Just did a full wet coat over everything. Just resin, just building it up. And that should be the last of my fiberglass, I believe. I got a couple tricks I'm adding, but they won't be till later. So shouldn't need any more fiberglass for a while. I think it ended up being like 4 coats, something like that. It ended up being 4 gallons total. And like 80 foot of mat or whatever it was. So this was definitely the smoothest I have ever put on the fiberglass. It's like glass in some spots. Some spots it's a little rougher, but should be a lot easier to sand it when it's like this. All right, we got it all sanded down and we got our, this isn't really a second coat. I've done so many coats, I don't know what you want to call it. This is probably like the 3rd or 4th coat, but basically this was just to do some structural areas that I wanted to have a little bit thicker fiberglass. I'm gonna let this dry for a day or two, and then it's time to actually start sanding this down and start kind of coming down the finishing line as far as the fiberglass work. I pretty much have everything done structurally. Everything is really solid. I mean, this shit's just all built like a tank. So the next step I'm gonna do is whenever this is dry, I'm gonna sand this down and we're gonna figure out how we're gonna do our windows on the side. And I'll ask everybody on TikTok and we'll vote and see what's gonna look best. Thank you guys very much for watching. As you can see, it is moving along pretty well, a lot faster than I thought. I'm really only working on this an hour a night after work, basically an hour a night after my kid goes to bed, to be honest with you. That's why most of these videos are at night. It's because it's 10 o'clock when he falls asleep. So it's moving along real fast. I still have to do a ton of motor work. The motor is still actually at the machine shop. So I'm gonna still have to put all that together. So here pretty soon, a lot of these videos are gonna turn to the mechanical aspect, but as far as finishing the body, we're getting very, very close. But thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff they tell you at the end of videos. And check out some more of my other videos. If this is the first video you've watched of this, there should be a playlist you can click. I think I have 5 or 6 different videos on this one at this point. So, check them out. Peace!
Ayy, sitting like a boss, bring the workers out. Press on the exhaust, we be skirting now. No, we not the same, what you talking about? Got me all up in your mentions, must've heard around. How that sound, yeah, that sound good. Tell them